Have you ever wondered why the Challenger Space Shuttle exploded just 73 seconds after its launch in 1986? This is a question that has puzzled many for decades, a mystery shrouded in technical jargon and bureaucratic red tape. But at its heart, it's a human story, a tale of ambition, of exploration, and tragically, of loss. On a cold January morning, the Challenger, a marvel of human engineering, roared into the sky. Yet just over a minute into its journey, it was engulfed in a cloud of smoke and flame. In that moment, 7 brave souls were lost, astronauts who had dedicated their lives to pushing the boundaries of what was known and what was possible. They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives. They were pioneers on the final frontier, their dreams as vast as the universe they sought to explore. But why did this happen? How could a mission of such importance, backed by the collective genius of NASA's finest minds, end in such disaster? Was it a fluke? An unforeseen circumstance? Or was it the result of something darker, a symptom of systemic failure? Over the years, these questions have sparked countless investigations, theories, and debates. People have pored over documents, analyzed footage, and listened to black box recordings in an attempt to piece together the puzzle that is the Challenger disaster. And yet, despite the passage of time, the answers to these questions remain as elusive as ever. The Challenger explosion stands as a stark reminder of the risks inherent in space exploration, a testament to the courage of those who dare to venture into the unknown. In this video, we will unravel the events leading up to this catastrophic incident and delve into its aftermath. We'll explore what went wrong, who was responsible, and most importantly, what lessons can be learned to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. We'll pay tribute to the crew members who lost their lives and reflect on their enduring legacy, because their story, like the mystery of the Challenger itself, deserves to be told. To understand the Challenger explosion, we need to travel back in time to the inception of NASA's Space Shuttle program. The year was 1972, and NASA was eager to push the boundaries of human exploration. Following the success of the Apollo moon missions, the Space Shuttle program was designed to be a reusable, cost-effective method of space travel. The Challenger was the second orbiter of the Space Shuttle fleet, following its elder sibling, Columbia. Named after the HMS Challenger, a British naval research vessel that sailed during the 1870s, the shuttle was built to carry the torch of scientific discovery into the heavens. Challenger's maiden voyage was on April 4, 1983, a mission that marked the first American woman, Sally Ride, to journey into space. It was a moment of triumph for NASA and a giant leap for gender equality. The Challenger went on to complete 9 successful missions, each one adding to the growing confidence in the Space Shuttle program. These missions were not just about space travel, they were about scientific discovery, technological advancement, and international cooperation. The shuttles carried satellites, telescopes, and even parts of the International Space Station into orbit. But perhaps the most memorable mission was the STS-41G mission in 1984, where the Challenger carried the first Canadian and the first astronaut of African descent, making space travel a truly international endeavor. The Challenger was not just a machine. It was a symbol of human potential and determination. Each successful mission was a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the human spirit, propelling us further into the unknown and expanding our understanding of the universe. With a series of successful missions, the Challenger seemed invincible until that fateful day in January 1986. The countdown for the Challenger's 10th mission started amidst a wave of anticipation and excitement. In the run-up to the launch, the crew selection process was a meticulous endeavor, with 7 astronauts chosen to embark on this historic mission. Each crew member brought their unique skills and experiences to the table, forming a team that was diverse in talent and united in purpose. They underwent rigorous training to prepare for the challenges that lay ahead in the unforgiving environment of outer space. The mission's objectives were ambitious, reflective of the optimism that permeated the air. The crew's tasks ranged from deploying satellites to conducting experiments in microgravity. They were also set to demonstrate the feasibility of teaching lessons from space, a revolutionary concept that was expected to inspire a new generation of space enthusiasts. In the days leading up to the launch, the crew's camaraderie and dedication were palpable. Their smiles and waves, captured in photographs and television footage, were a testament to their unwavering commitment to the mission. They were prepared to risk it all in the name of exploration and discovery. As the countdown clock ticked down, the anticipation grew. The launch pad, a towering structure of steel and concrete, stood as a symbol of humanity's unyielding quest for knowledge. The powerful engines of the Challenger rumbled, ready to propel the spacecraft into the great unknown. At the heart of this mission was a simple yet profound belief that space is not a final frontier, but a new beginning. It was a sentiment that resonated with millions around the world who watched the preparations with bated breath. Yet even as excitement filled the air, there were those who observed the proceedings with a sense of unease. They were the engineers and technicians, the men and women who understood the complexities of space travel. They knew that every launch was a gamble, that every mission carried with it a level of risk. And as the Challenger prepared to take off, they couldn't shake off a nagging feeling of uncertainty. Despite the growing anticipation, ominous signs began to emerge. Despite the clear warnings from engineers, the decision to proceed with the launch was made. The stage was set, the countdown had begun, but not everyone was celebrating. On the contrary, some were deeply worried. They were the engineers who had voiced concerns about the Challenger's launch. They were the whistleblowers in the midst of the fanfare. These engineers had raised red flags about the technical issues the shuttle might face. One of the key concerns was the unusually cold weather. It was far colder than any conditions the shuttle had been launched in before. The engineers knew that the O-rings, critical components in the rocket boosters, had never been tested in such severe cold. They feared that the O-rings would not seal properly, leading to a catastrophic failure. This was not a baseless worry, it was a calculated concern, backed by evidence and expertise. But the management, under the pressure of public expectations and the weight of previous successful missions, chose to dismiss these alarms. The decision was made to proceed with the launch, despite the clear warnings. But why? Why ignore these warnings? It was a complex interplay of factors: the lure of progress, the pressure of maintaining a flawless track record, and the desire to validate the idea of routine space travel. The warnings were seen as obstacles in the path of progress, and so, they were sidelined. This decision, however, was not made lightly. It was in fact a decision fraught with tension. There were debates, discussions, and disagreements. Yet in the end, the decision to launch won the day. The countdown continued, the anticipation grew, and the warning signs were relegated to a corner. The engineers watched with bated breath as the shuttle lifted off. They hoped against hope that their fears would prove unfounded. Little did they know that their worst nightmares were about to come true. The stage was set for a tragedy that would shock the world. The warnings had been ignored, and the countdown to disaster had begun. The Challenger was on its way, soaring towards the heavens, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of a nation, oblivious to the doom that awaited it. The Challenger lifted off, unaware of the fate that awaited it 73 seconds into the flight. The morning of January 28, 1986, was colder than usual at the Kennedy Space Center. Yet the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. The Challenger, a symbol of human ingenuity and courage, was set to embark on its 10th mission. On board were 7 astronauts, each carrying dreams of exploration and discovery. As the countdown reached 0, the solid rocket boosters ignited, sending a roar across the landscape. The Challenger rose, piercing the clear blue sky, a beacon of hope and ambition. The crew, in high spirits, communicated with the ground control, their voices echoing the excitement of the moment. However, unbeknownst to them, a tragedy was brewing. As the Challenger climbed higher, the O-ring seals in its right solid rocket booster began to fail, a consequence of the unusually cold weather. This failure allowed hot gases to escape, leading to a chain of events that would end in catastrophe. 58 seconds into the flight, the spacecraft's structure began to buckle under the strain. The crew, still unaware of the impending disaster, continued their mission tasks. Meanwhile, the Challenger was rapidly approaching a point of no return. At 73 seconds, the inevitable happened. A sudden, violent explosion shattered the Challenger, turning it into a massive fireball that lit up the morning sky. The crew cabin was catapulted into the air, the astronauts inside possibly unaware of what had just transpired. The spectators on the ground watched in horror as the Challenger disintegrated. The once mighty spacecraft was reduced to a shower of debris, raining down on the Atlantic Ocean. The shockwave was felt far and wide, a stark reminder of the perilous nature of space exploration. In the mission control, stunned silence reigned. The controllers stared at their screens, the reality of the situation slowly sinking in. The Challenger, the pride of NASA, was gone, and with it, 7 of their colleagues, their friends, their family. The world watched in disbelief as the news spread. The Challenger disaster was not just an American tragedy, but a global one. It was a stark reminder of the risks involved in venturing into the unknown, of the thin line between triumph and tragedy. Yet, in the midst of the shock and grief, there was a sense of unity. The world mourned together, united in their sorrow and their admiration for the brave astronauts who had paid the ultimate price in their quest for knowledge and discovery. In a matter of seconds, the Challenger was lost, and with it, the lives of 7 brave astronauts. Their legacy, however, would live on, a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the thirst for exploration, and the courage to reach for the stars, no matter the cost. The Challenger explosion sent shockwaves around the world, prompting an immediate halt to NASA's Space Shuttle program. The skyward dreams of humanity seemed to fall back to Earth as the world grappled with the enormity of the tragedy that had unfolded before their eyes. News of the catastrophic event spread like wildfire, igniting a global outpour of grief and disbelief. The international reaction was one of unified sorrow, as nations across the globe mourned the 7 brave souls lost to the unforgiving void of space. The world watched, captivated and horrified, as the optimistic face of space exploration was momentarily marred by the harsh realities of its dangers. In the wake of the disaster, NASA's Space Shuttle program was immediately suspended. The pursuit of knowledge and exploration was put on pause, as the world turned its attention to understanding what had gone so terribly wrong. The once bustling launch pads fell silent, the hum of anticipation replaced with the solemn whisper of reflection. To investigate the incident, President Ronald Reagan established the Rogers Commission, named after its chairman, former Secretary of State William Rogers. The commission was tasked with a daunting responsibility to dissect the events leading up to the explosion, to scrutinize the decisions made, and to determine the root cause of the disaster. This was not a task taken lightly, for the findings would shape the future of manned spaceflight. In the aftermath of the Challenger explosion, the world was reminded of the inherent risks involved in space exploration. The incident underscored the harsh truth that, despite our best efforts, the pursuit of knowledge and exploration is not without its perils. Yet, it also served as a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the willingness to risk everything in the quest to push the boundaries of our understanding. The Challenger disaster was a turning point in space exploration, prompting a major rethink of the risks involved. It marked a moment of collective reflection, a sobering reminder of our vulnerability, and a call to action for safer, more reliable ways to explore the final frontier. The Rogers Commission embarked on an extensive investigation to uncover the causes of the Challenger explosion. This commission, led by former Secretary of State William P. Rogers, was tasked with the daunting responsibility of piecing together the tragic puzzle that led to the loss of 7 lives and a national symbol of progress. The investigation unearthed a series of unfortunate events and missteps. The technical cause of the disaster was identified as the failure of the O-rings on the right solid rocket booster. These rings, meant to seal the joint between the sections of the rocket booster, failed due to unusually cold temperatures on the morning of the launch. The failure allowed hot gases to escape, which led to the disintegration of the external fuel tank and the tragic explosion. But the technical failure was just one piece of the puzzle. The commission also discovered a deeper, more systemic issue. There were managerial failures that contributed significantly to the disaster. The decision to launch, despite the concerns raised by engineers about the effect of cold temperatures on the O-rings, was a fatal error. This decision was not a simple oversight, but a symptom of a flawed decision-making process within NASA. The agency had become desensitized to the risks associated with spaceflight, and had allowed schedule and budget pressures to overshadow safety concerns. The findings of the Rogers Commission were a wake-up call for NASA and the entire space industry. The Challenger disaster was not just a failure of technology, but a failure of management and organizational culture. It served as a stark reminder that in the quest for progress and exploration, the value of human life and the importance of safety should never be compromised. The Challenger disaster was a tragic consequence of technical and managerial failures. The Challenger disaster was a stark reminder of the risks of space exploration and the importance of heeding warning signs. This tragic event shook not only NASA, but the world, forcing us all to confront the reality of the risks associated with pushing the boundaries of discovery. One of the key lessons learned from the Challenger disaster was the paramount importance of safety in space exploration. The loss of 7 brave souls underscored the fact that every safety protocol, every precaution, every potential scenario must be considered and accounted for. There is no room for error when lives are at stake, and this incident served as a grim reminder of that. The disaster also shone a light on the need for better communication within organizations. The voices of engineers, expressing concern over the O-rings in the solid rocket boosters, were tragically ignored. This incident highlighted the crucial importance of open dialogue, of listening to and respecting the expertise of all team members, and of making decisions based on the collective wisdom of the group. And finally, the Challenger disaster reminded us of the dangers of complacency. The space shuttle had flown successfully 24 times before that fateful day in 1986. Success can breed complacency, and complacency can lead to disaster. The Challenger disaster underscored the need for constant vigilance, for rigorous testing and retesting, and for never taking success for granted. These lessons, learned in such a painful way, have shaped the path of space exploration ever since. They have led to improvements in safety procedures, to a culture of open communication and constant vigilance within NASA, and to a renewed respect for the dangers inherent in space exploration. The Challenger disaster left an indelible mark on the history of space exploration, reminding us of the bravery of those who venture into the unknown and the lessons we must learn from their sacrifices. In the wake of the disaster, the world mourned the loss of the Challenger's crew. These 7 brave souls, each with their individual stories, had a common thread tying them together: their undeniable love for space exploration. Francis Richard Scobie, the commander, was a veteran astronaut known for his unwavering commitment. Pilot Michael J. Smith, with his sharp skills, was an invaluable part of the team. Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, and Judith Resnick, the mission specialist, brought their unique expertise to the mission. Gregory Jarvis, the payload specialist, was known for his dedication and meticulousness. And who could forget Krista McAuliffe, the teacher-turned-astronaut, who was set to teach kids from space. Their tragic end shook the world, but their spirits remain unfazed. Their stories of courage, determination, and dedication in the face of adversity continue to inspire. Their courage and dedication will forever remain a testament to the human spirit's quest for knowledge and exploration. The Challenger disaster left a lasting impact on space exploration and the world. This tragic event was a turning point, not just for NASA, but for all of humanity, as we began to understand the true risks involved in our quest to reach beyond the stars. In the aftermath of the Challenger explosion, NASA underwent a period of intense scrutiny and self-examination. This led to a complete overhaul of its policies and procedures, with a renewed emphasis on safety and risk management. A new Office of Safety, Reliability, Maintainability and Quality Assurance was established, and the role of the shuttle program's safety officer was significantly expanded. These changes have undoubtedly saved lives and prevented other disasters in the years since. But the impact of the Challenger disaster reached far beyond the confines of NASA. It catalyzed advancements in space technology and spurred a renewed commitment to space exploration across the globe. The lessons learned from this tragedy have been applied to every subsequent mission, from the design of spacecraft to the training of astronauts, making space travel safer and more efficient. Yet, perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Challenger disaster is the memory of the 7 brave souls who lost their lives that fateful day. Their sacrifice has not been forgotten. Their names, their stories, their dreams live on, inspiring countless others to reach for the stars. Schools, scholarships, and monuments have been established in their honor, ensuring that their legacy will continue to inspire future generations. In the end, the Challenger disaster serves as a poignant reminder of the risks and rewards of space exploration. It reminds us of the incredible bravery of those who dare to venture into the unknown, and the immense challenges that we must overcome in our pursuit of knowledge and discovery. It is a legacy that continues to shape our journey into the cosmos. The Challenger disaster has left a mark on our collective memory, a testament to the human spirit and our unyielding desire to explore the universe.